I've said before that I think the Battle Mystery is one of the better Oracle mysteries. Maybe not the top one, but it's definitely up there. And that's because it has relatively few dud options. Let's talk about Telekinetic Maneuver, one of the granted spells that people might argue is a dud option. But that's really not if you really think about it. Certainly, you're spending two actions to do something a marshal can do in one, but you're doing it without any ability score investment in strength or any ranks in athletics. And you're also doing it from 60 feet away, so it can be safer than doing some of those in melee range. And of course, the marshal can only do these things for one action if they're in melee range. And if you put aside the fact that it's doing maneuvers that marshals can do for one action and just look at the effect it's producing, it's actually a pretty decent spell. People will celebrate spells that can make an enemy lose an action or cause an enemy to provoke an attack of opportunity. Reactive strike. Well, if you choose to trip them, you're applying a circumstance penalty to their AC and their ability to attack. And if they want to get rid of that, they have to spend an action standing up, and that action provokes an attack of opportunity. So this spell is providing an accuracy bonus to allies, providing a defensive boost to allies. Both of those stack with status penalties that you might also be able to apply, and it can set up a situation where the enemy must lose an action, and if an ally next to them has reactive strike, can cause them to provoke that. That's a pretty decent spell. And it's got additional functions like potentially maybe shoving somebody off of an elevated position or into a flank. And despite the fact that spell attacks are hit or do nothing, there's plenty of means by which to boost your accuracy, such as the Sure Strike, even though it was recently nerfed, or that combination I've mentioned a few times of Blood Vendetta to set up a horrifying blood loss on your turn. That's a pretty decent debuff stacking. They get a fail result on that, they're frightened 2, and then you knock them down for another -2 from off guard, and they'll need to stand up, and they'll be at -2 AC when they're provoking that reaction. A nice wombo combo there. And it's always the exact same strength in a rank 2 slot, so that ages reasonably okayish. And don't forget, because it's a spell attack and a rank 2 slot, that means you can buy spell strike ammunition eventually very cheaply, and then just use your strike accuracy and the spell attack accuracy for the same shebang. And because the spell strike ammunition is activated with 2 actions and then shot with a regular strike, you can do that with a quickened action. So theoretically, when quickened, you can set that up with a horrifying blood loss or a sure strike for a 2-for-1 sure strike.